deadline because I knew this first time we may have technical difficulties, so I think the deadline is Sunday at 11:55 p.m., so it's clear that's midnight. So Sunday at 11:55 p.m. Yeah, I know that the first technical thing would be kind of a mess, so, okay. I don't always do that, but for the first one, figuring out file exchange. Okay. Now, today I also know that you were supposed to read Wordsworth's Lines Composed Above Tintern Abbey, and really Intimations of Immortality would be good to have all of that in your minds. I also know that some of those annotated bibliographies got to me at about 11:55 last night. Yes. So probably didn't read. So what we're going to do today is talk about Wordsworth kind of from an outside perspective, okay, and lyric poetry and the imagination, the lyric imagination and the romantic imagination. So I want to start off by talking about Wordsworth and a little bit about what he and Coleridge are doing, okay, because we're reading Coleridge right after we read Wordsworth. The important thing in romantic poetry is that we're dealing with the power of the imagination and how the individual shapes meaning, okay? And you want to like put individual in real big letters. When I ask you to do a post on any of the romantic poets, that whole perspective of the individual and how the individual shapes meaning is going to play a role. Remember who made the tiger in Blake's Tiger?
We did.
We did. Yes, there are words on a page that are called The Tiger by Blake. Yes, we're at Christian University. We believe God made tigers. So God made the tiger, Blake made the tiger, and then each one of us had a different tiger in our heads. That does not mean that we don't believe that tigers really exist. I'm not going out into the woods to find one and shake its happy paw, even though that illumination, he looked more like Tigger, right? So, I mean, that's a sweet Tigger kind of illumination that Blake did. But I do believe in real tigers. There is absolute reality out there. But what is the reality that is important to how we live? And Wordsworth and Coleridge are looking at the power of the imagination and how it shapes the individual meaning. Wordsworth and Coleridge set out to create a new kind of poetry in the lyrical ballads. In 1798, we've got the first edition. So we're looking at 1798, thinking about the French Revolution, equality, fraternity, right? Equality. And there's another E. Fraternity, equality, and I'll think of it in a minute. 1798, the lyrical ballads. They set out to create a new kind of poetry, right? So they know that they're not doing something in the tradition. They know that they're not doing something within the tradition. They are breaking the tradition. Pope would not have done that, right? Alexander Pope writes a mock heroic, uses heroic couplets, nice structure, form, follow the rules, do what they did. It's neoclassical. Look back to those classical forms. This is down with the classical, down with tradition, blah. We're going to do something new. And so, in this first edition of the lyrical ballads, they aim to use simple language. It probably doesn't sound so simple to us, but compared to what we were getting in, say, The Rape of the Lock, it's much more normal speech. We don't typically speak in heroic couplets, unless, and it has been shown that if you are manic depressive in a manic state, one does tend to rhyme more. So, really tired during exam week, you can probably rhyme commercials or something. I don't know. But we don't tend to speak in heroic couplets. Okay? So, instead, it's the use of simple language to reveal the high significance of simple themes. Okay, now think about the difference that we have between that and Pope. In Pope, it was so silly to cut the girl's hair. There wasn't much significance in the actual cutting of the hair, right? The important themes were maybe the colonialism that we see going on in the poem, even though it's mentioned through simple objects. He's showing that the simple objects, the common everyday life, is not what's important, okay? And so instead, it is, the Romantics are going to reveal the high significance of simple themes. We'll get a celebration of the common man in Romantic poetry, of children. Children will be able to understand more than adults will, perhaps. And so it's also to reveal the transcendent importance of the everyday. To reveal the transcendent importance of the everyday. To some extent, you can see this in country music. I'm sorry if you don't like country music, but to some extent, this is a lot of what you get in country music, right? And I'm thinking about, oh no, that's not country music. I'm kidding.
Thank you.
Okay, if you think about some of the songs like My Front Porch Looking In, it's like the two little kids, he's even got the shoes on the wrong feet and all that. That's great, right? That's what's cool. Or the songs about Sunday afternoons and how important it is. Fried chicken, exactly. Fried Sunday afternoon chicken or whatever. After church chicken or whatever. Yeah. It's those things that it's like it's raised to a higher level, right? Okay. So romantic poetry is not all about falling in love. It's not all about falling in love. Yeah, there might be some of that in some places, but nobody falls in love. I don't think anybody falls in love in lines composed of Tintern Abbey or an ode on intimations of immortality. Nobody, there isn't any love story there, okay? Instead, it's to reveal the importance of the everyday. Now, I'm going to give you word for word what Wordsworth says poetry is. And you need to memorize this. You need to actually memorize something for me. Okay. This is Wordsworth's definition of poetry. Okay? Wordsworth's definition.
Oh, you were here.
Oh, thank you. Wow. This is great.
It's a great day.
This is so important. This is like
Anybody like a lot of sugar in their coffee?
like a whole lot of
I love
sugar.
sugar.
Okay.
Perfect. Alright, now it's Abernathy coffees. There's like 4 spoons of sugar.
That's exactly what I
We're talking hot chocolate.
You got it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No.
She already has it.